Any of you? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Shri Ram Jaya Ram. Ramachandra Raghuvira Ramachandra Ranadhira. Ramachandra Raghuvira Ramachandra Ramachandra Mama Bandhu Ramachandra Jaya Sindhu. Ramachandra Raghurama Ramachandra Paranama. Ramachandra Raghurama Ramachandra. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhava ki Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Shri La Prabhupada ki Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Kali Yuga Pavana Harinama Sankirtan ki Nitai Gaura Premanande. He's asking permission. Who is the host? It's coming in the lab there. It's not coming there. I am sharing this here. Prabhu, Rajit Prabhu, I am sharing this. It's not appearing there. Zoom only I am sharing. Is it coming here also? It's not coming. It's coming now? Ah, it's coming now. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'm doing. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuhu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namavom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome all of you to the ISKCON Seattle Temple. And His Grace Brajakripa Prabhu had suggested me that because recently there was a very big festival at Ayodhya, welcoming of Ram Lala deity there. All over the world there has been a lot of talk about Lord Ramchandra. So he said it would be nice if we could also have some valuable thing to learn about Lord Ramachandra. So I will speak something today. Once His Holiness Bhakticharu Maharaj, he spoke a lecture called Becoming Krishna Conscious by Becoming Rama Conscious. So he was saying that by studying the character of Lord Ramachandra, a devotee can get a very good base in spiritual life. One can come to the mode of goodness and develop respect for the Supreme Lord, develop good culture of dealing with devotees and dealing with the world around us. And that gives a very good platform for cultivating Krishna consciousness. Because the Supreme Lord, Krishna, He only expands Himself as Lord Ramachandra, as the verse in Brahma Samhita says, Ramadi Murti Shukala Niyamena Trishtan Nanavataram Akarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu. So Krishna, Ram, Narayan, all these are Supreme Personality of Godhead. One personality expanding into three different forms. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was talking to Venkata Bhatta in South India, so in that discussion Mahaprabhu says that if somebody distinguishes between these personalities, it's a partiality, he says. There is no difference between these three personalities. At the same time, the difference is of the rasa, or the mood in which they behave with the devotees. Why these different moods are required? Because different devotees become charmed by Lord's different type of qualities. How many of you here would be charmed by a personality who is a person of integrity, who is grave, who is truthful, who is honest, who will never go back in his vows, who is pure? How many of you are charmed by such a personality? Correct, no? Isn't it? And then how many of you are charmed by another type of personality who is playful, who is sportive, who is jovial, who is naughty, who is mischievous? How many of you are attracted? Yeah, isn't it? So Lord wants to attract the different type of nature of the jivas. Mad bhakta vinodartam karomi vividaha kriyaha. In Padma Purana there is a verse. Lord says, Mad bhakta vinodartam. For the joy of my devotees, I come in this world and perform different type of pastimes. And I charm different types of devotees. Amongst devotees also there are varieties. Therefore it is said, Dvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hritsaroja ase shrute kshitapato nanunatha pumsam yadyadhiyata urgaya vibhavayanti tat tat papu pranayase sadanugrahaya. Brahmaji says, my dear Lord, in this world you manifest your pastimes in different ways to charm different type of devotees. Our Sridhara Swami in our line, he had Lord Narasimhadev as his Ishtadev deity. So he was charmed by Lord Narasimha. Similarly, Murari Gupta, Anupam, they were all charmed by Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, that form of the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was most charmed by the Jagannath. He says, Shyama Sundar, Yashodanandan, Ihamatra Jani. He was attracted by Krishna's, that type of pastimes. So, Lord in this world appears. Although Krishna is one, He has multiplied Himself as various Purushottam forms to charm and bring the different type of devotees back to His abode. So today we will, although I had given the heading as 10 qualities of Ram, Ram has 20 qualities, which comes in the conversation of Narada and Valmiki. But to discuss 10 qualities also would take time. But I am just going to first talk about this famous verse. You are able to see? Yeah. Please all of you repeat. Kon vasmin sampratam loke gunavan kascha viryavan dharmajnascha kritajnascha satyavakyo dridavratah. Who really is that person in this present world who is virtuous and vigorous and conscientious one who is mindful of good deeds done to him, and also a speaker of truth, and who is determined in his deed. So these are all the qualities of Lord Rama. So this question is asked to Narada by Valmiki. He is asking him. See here, Valmiki is inquiring from Narada. Who is that person at this moment? Charitrena chako yuktaha sarva bhuteshu ko hitaha vidwan kaha kaha samarthascha kaschayaka priya darshanaha. He is asking Charitrena ko yuktaha. Who is endowed with a very high character? And sarva bhuteshu hitaha means one who is always thinking about the welfare of the living entities. Always. And vidwan kaha kaha samarthascha. Who is expert, adept. And also kaschayaka priya darshanaha. One who is very uniquely pleasant to look at. He is asking. Atmaman ko jitakrodho Jyutiman ko nasuyakaha kasya bhibyati devascha jataroshasya samyuge. See, who is self-controlled and who is the person who has conquered his anger? Although he has conquered his anger, if he becomes angry, all the 33 crore devatas will tremble. He doesn't become angry very easily, but if he becomes angry, the whole universe will tremble. Yeah, he's saying, Kasya bibhyati devascha. Edadicham yaham shrotum param kautuhalam hime maharshe tvam samarthosi jnatumevam vidam naram. So I want to listen to you, great sage Narada, about such a person. I am very eager to know about such a person. Does such a person exist now on the planet? Yeah. Can you please tell me about it? He is asking. And then Narada is going to start here. These are the qualities he asked. 16 qualities. Please all of you repeat this. Gunavan, Viryavan, Dharmajnaha, Kritagnaha, Satyavakyaha, Dridhavrataha, Charitravan, Sarva Bhuteshu Hitaha, Vidwan, Samartaha, Priyadarshanaha, Atmavan, Jitakrodaha, Jyutiman, Anasuyakaha, Bibhyati Devaha. So these are the 16 attributes, the 16 phases of the full moon. And Valmiki is about to picture Rama to be as pleasant as a full moon. Ramachandra is called. So now these qualities are further explained. Narada Muni is explaining about Rama in the subsequent verses. So I had another picture where all these qualities are shown also. I'll just check if I can show you that. All qualities mentioned about Rama. Here I got it now. Just a minute. Now can you see now? Yeah. So, see in the picture? Gunavan means principled and virtuous. Bibhyati Deva, feared by even Devas. Dhitiman, brilliant. Anasuyaka, non-jealous. Satyavakya, truthful. Samartha, competent. Vidwan, adept, knows everything. Atmavan, self-composed. Jitakrudo, mastered in anger. Kritagnya, always grateful. Even to a squirrel. You see, Viryavan, vigorous. In Janasthan, he killed 14,000 Rakshasas headed by Karadushan single-handedly with his bow and arrow. Dridhavrata, determined. He walked from Panchavati down to Lanka, can you imagine, to reclaim his consort Sita. He is determined in the battle. Dharmajnaha, conscientious. And Priyadarshana, extremely handsome to look at. Sarva Bhuteshu Hitaha. So these are the qualities of Lord Ramchandra. So yeah. But today I am going to highlight not on all these qualities, but 2 lessons we will learn about Rama today. Very interesting. You will see, here is Rama making a friendship tie with Sugriva in the picture you are seeing. But how Lord Rama is a very value-based leader, you will see in his deeds. See, here there is a verse in the Ramayana which talks about the Vali's qualities. Please all of you repeat this. Shurascha Shuramani cha Prakyata Bala Paurushaha Balavan Vanaro Vali Samyugeshu Aparajitaha. See, Shurascha means he is very powerful. Vali was extremely powerful. You want to know how powerful he was? You know, it is said that once Ravana came to know about the power of Vali, but he was afraid to come in front of him because he thought, I will lose half my strength. So what Ravana did, he went behind. He wanted to see the activities of Vali from behind. But Vali caught him by the tail. And then he kept him in the tail grip. And Vali used to travel to Chardham Yatra. Three of those holy places used to travel for doing Gayatri 3 times of the day. So all the while Ravana was in his tail grip. Night when he came back, Vali brought him to the front and saw, who is that fellow? Then he saw the 10-headed Ravana, and he tied Ravana with a rope hanging in the cradle of his son Angada. And Angada was watching this toy moving. Who was the toy? That was the power of Vali, they said. So Shurascha, he was so mighty. Shuramani means he was actually proud of his valor also. Not only others knew he is very powerful, he also knew how powerful he was. He thought, I am indefeatable. Nobody can stand me. He was also proud. Yeah. And Prakyata Bala Paurushaha, he was known for his strength and manliness. He says, Balavan, Vanaro Vali. Samyugeshu Aparajitaha. There is no war where he was ever defeated. Nobody can stand him. Extremely mighty. So these are the qualities of Vali mentioned. Now let us hear the qualities of Sugriva. Vanarendro Mahaviryaha Tejovan Amitaprabha Satyasandho Vinitascha Dhitiman Matiman Mahan. So this is the Aranyakanda. So he is saying Vanarendro Mahaviryaha. He is saying Sugriva was the leader of the monkeys because you all know that pastime which happened where, long story cut short, once Vali was fighting with the demon and they both entered a cave and a loud noise came, and then Sugriva was standing outside. He thought that my brother is killed by the demon and blood is flowing out, gushing out like a river. So he thought that now that the demon has killed my brother, next thing what he will do, he will come out and kill me too. Then both brothers dead, what will happen to Kishkinda? So he picked up a big boulder and blocked the hole of the cave so that the demon cannot come out. That was his idea. But then actually what happened was a different thing. Demon didn't kill Vali. Who killed whom? Vali killed the demon. Later on Sugriva was aggrieved. He returned back to the palace with a sad heart. Brought the news of his brother's death, and all the ministers also sobbed. And then they all said, now somebody has to rule Kishkinda. So at least your younger brother available, you please take the rule. On the request he accepted. Then he was sitting on the throne. But then Vali, he saw that I have killed the demon. Now I want to get out of the cave, but it's blocked with a stone. My brother, I think, has become envious of me and he want to take over my post. That was his misjudgment. So he kicked the stone with his leg very powerfully and he broke it into pieces. And out came Vali with that guess, with that imagination. He came. And sure enough, he saw his brother sitting on the throne, all ministers reporting to him. Really got wild. He rushed, he ran to attack his brother. Brother wanted to give an explanation, but Vali was in no mood to listen. He literally punched him and pounded him. He said, I can't listen to you now. I can only listen to you after you die, not now. He said, I am going to finish you. So he didn't trust his brother. And that is the time Sugriva ran from pillar to post. In fact, he had gone to extreme north, extreme south, extreme east, extreme west. He could see the extremes of the universe. Therefore, later on when Sita was to be found, when Lord Ramachandra was talking to Sugriva, Sugriva was knowing so much extensive geography knowledge. Lord Ram asked him, how do you know everything about the universe? He said, that I know because I had to run everywhere. He ran to all parts of the universe. So, in this way, Sugriva was heavily mistreated by Vali. At last, Sugriva, you all know, he came to a place called Rishyamukha Parvat, where Vali could not put his feet there. There was a curse for Vali there. He would die there if he goes there. There was a curse of a sage. So, taking advantage of that opportunity, Sugriva's life was spared. But then Vali stole away Sugriva's wife, Rama. And Sugriva could not get her back. Vali thought, my younger brother is a weakling. I am very mighty. So might is right. He adopted that formula. And then he took away his younger brother's wife. Actually, elder brother, for the younger brother's wife, he should be like a father. So, just like in a family, if next to the father, the eldest brother becomes like a second father for the sisters. That's why Kamsa was told by Vasudev, in one of the shlokas he says, Yesha tamanuja bala kripana putrikopama. He's saying, hey Kamsa, you are taking a sword to cut off your head of your sister. Yesha, this girl, tava anuja, she's your sister. Bala, she's in a woman's body. Kripana, she's a weakling. She doesn't deserve to be killed. She's to be protected. Children, cows, women, brahmanas and old people should not be mistreated. They should be protected. Putrika Upama, she is, Putrika Upama means she is like your daughter. Similarly, the elder brother, who is like a leader of the family, should treat the younger brother's wife like a father. But he took her away for his enjoyment, just because he was very mighty. But Sugriva is said to be powerful, energetic. He was also powerful and energetic, not as powerful as Vali, but still he was endowed with effulgence and energetic. But Satyasandho and Vinitasya, two qualities are mentioned, you will see. Satyasandho means he was true to his promise. That was his good quality. Although Sugriva temporarily, when he became the king later, he became forgetful, that was a circumstantial behavior. Otherwise, his Thai behavior is steadily he was a person true to his promise. He had gratitude to Rama, and he kept his word in helping Rama to find Sita later on also. So he's called as true to his promise. Vinitasya, very cultured and humble. These two good qualities he had. See, if we are not humble, then we don't listen to anybody's good advice. Like we say, Vinasha Kale, Preta Buddhi. Ravana was like that, isn't it? He was not humble. All the ministers around him were yes men. And he said, all my ministers are my well-wishers because they exactly agree with what I say. And one fellow, Vibhishan, wanted to give good advice. Ravana could not pay heed to his advice. There is one picture I saw in Kamba Ramayanam. Kamba says that Ravana kicked his brother on the chest. I got that picture also. So Ravana was kicking Vibhishan and just saying that, you Drohi, you are my enemy because you are asking me to give back Sita to Rama. Therefore you don't have any place in Lanka, get lost, he says. That is Ravana. So others had no guts to tell the truth to him. They were, his flatterers, you see. So he didn't pay any heed at all. Therefore, because of his pride, false pride, these people have this idea that I am always right. I can never be wrong. I can never commit mistakes. I am very powerful. Even if I do wrong, I can bury it. I can cover up. So it's a lack of character, you see. Whereas here you find Satyasandho Vinitasya is cultured, humble. So this is our Sugriva. And Matiman is intelligent also. Dhritiman, resolute. Mahan, great soul, as they said. See, these are the qualities of Sugriva. So now let us go ahead See, when Vali was dying, at that time he told one shloka to Rama. Please repeat this. Mameva yadi purvam tvam etadartama chodayaha maithili mahamekahna tabachani taman bhavehe. He said, hey Rama, it's very surprising to me. I would have brought back your wife Sita in a single day, because you know how I dealt with Ravana long before. Huh? If you would have approached me before, tying round the neck of the evil-minded Ravana who stole away your wife, in a single day I will go and bring him also to you and put him at your feet, and your wife will be back with you. And why are you foolishly why are you making allies with my brother who is a weakling? That is his question. Huh? Just like, say you are a owner of a company or a CEO of a company. You have a highly skilled, manager, who can actually do 1,000 people's job. There are people like that. Huh? Super smart. Before you complete a sentence, they will understand what you are going to say. Huh? And they don't need much direction, because there is one type of leader. You just give him the ball, he will put it in the basket and bring you the score. There are people like that. They don't need training because they have inborn talent. There are some leaders like that. Very smart. But if that smart leader is corrupt in character, there's a possibility. Like for example, in one township, one fellow had to do surgery. So he had two choices to go to two different type of doctors. One doctor was London returned, highly accomplished, 20 years he is in the field of surgery. He has done thousands of surgery cases he has done. The only problem is there is a talk amongst the people of the township that he steals kidneys. He's called as a Dr. Organchor. He became very famous as Dr. Organchor. There's another doctor who is a general physician, but that fellow studied with this fellow in the same school. Very close friend of his family. He's a general physician, but he was a man of high character. So he was in two minds whom to go to surgery for. Should I go to Dr. Organchor or my friend? Whom to go to? So think about it, what you will do. So now you want the skill of that doctor, big doctor, London returned doctor. At the same time, you want the character of your good friend doctor, isn't it? So therefore, what I would do, somebody asked me what I would do. I told them, of course, I may go to the London returned doctor, but I'll go with my physician friend. Tell him, make sure he doesn't steal my kidney, isn't it? Is it not true? We need both, competence and character. But out of the two, which is most important? Character. Exactly. That is what Lord Rama will tell him, Vali. Vali, I agree with you, because imagine you are owner of a company. You only pay attention to skill of the manager. Tomorrow he will sack you, pack you, and he will make you bankrupt. He will put everything in his pocket and go away. Because he is talented fellow, but he will usurp your wealth if one is a man of no character. On the other hand, if one is a person of character, he will be grateful to you that you have given him a job, and he will bring success for you. And for example, you tell somebody to make dosa, but they make dosa like upma, It's very soft. They don't know how to make it, but you can train them at least. 3 months, 6 months, they'll get training like that. But on the other hand, if somebody is very highly skilled, but having no character, we can't trust them. So Lord Rama will say that, you see. See Rama's reply to Ali. Please repeat this. Tvam cha dharma atikrantah katam shakyam upekshitum. Hey Vali, how can you who have strayed from the path of virtue be let go unpunished? This is very amazing with Ram. See, Ram is not right now thinking about bringing Sita back. See, imagine for any husband who has lost his wife, he wants to bring his wife back. It will be top project, is it not true? Sita is there in Lanka, Ram wants to bring. But because he is such a king, he is saying that I cannot allow a person who has strayed from the path of virtue to go unpunished. Punishing you is my dharma now. He will say that, Bharat is ruling Ayodhya, and all the cities and towns and villages. And Bharat has asked me to rule over the forest. Wherever in the forest anything that is happening against adharma, I am supposed to take action. That's one thing Rama says. When Vali asked him a question, how is it that you shot me with an arrow from behind a tree? Lord Rama gives very good reasoning. He says, a person who steals another man's wife deserves to be killed like an animal. Even if he speaks the dharma, like you are speaking dharma, but you acted against dharma. So he deserves to be killed like an animal. Or if you claim that I am only an animal, I am only a monkey, you hit me, then animals are often hit in hunting excursion. Is it not true? So you can be hunted. Either way, you deserve to be killed. So Lord Rama explained. Then Vali became peaceful after satisfied. And then he sought forgiveness for his act. He said, yes, it was indeed wrong that I took away Sugriva's wife. It was improper. He admitted. So you will see that although Lord Rama had these two people, it is like see, generally when it comes to means and goals in our life, we focus on the goal often. We don't often worry about the means. For example, by hook or crook, we want to get the goal achieved. That is not a proper thing. One time Prabhupada just made a statement in his lecture, by hook or crook, distribute my books, Prabhupada said. So some devotees took clue from that and said, hey, Prabhupada has said, hook or crook, you can distribute books in any way. So what they would do, somebody would ask, this book, Topmost Yoga System is written here. So do you have all the yogasanas, postures and everything? They would say, yeah, all yogasanas you will get here. And people take the book and go and see there is no yogasana picture at all. Isn't it? Or somebody want to give $100 and say that I'll take one book in $10 or $20. Give me the balance money. So some devotee would say that I don't have any balance. So you take all these books. 2 dozen books they'll put in their hand and run away. So when Prabhupada got the news, he was very unhappy. The devotees are in the name of hook or crook, they are misusing. Later on Prabhupada explained what is the meaning of this. He said if a lady is sitting with a child, you should tell her, Mataji, this is Krishna book with 90 pastimes of Krishna. If you read this, you will have enough stories to tell your child. She will immediately take the book. You will see that. You try it in your temple, any lady comes with her son or daughter, small baby, they happily take, because at that time her whole attention is on whom? Child. Similarly, you see a man who's going to office, he looks very stressed fellow. Of course, anybody who's working 16 hours, why will they not be stressed? You tell him, sir, it appears that you are working too hard and your life is full of stress. How did you know that? Please take this chant and be happy. This book will help you to calm your mind with a good meditation. Immediately you will take it. And that Prabhupada called it as hook or crook. Some or other you find a way to push these books. So, in this way, we want to attain the goal of distributing large number of books, but we don't want to compromise on the means by which we reach the books. One should not adopt any cheating practices. Because if you adopt cheating practice, people will lose trust in you. And tomorrow, you lose the goodwill and you won't be able to accomplish your goals. Eventually, like there were 2 shops, selling bakery items. So A shop and B shop. A shop was run by a devotee, very faithful devotee. As soon as some fungus will come on the bread, immediately we throw it in the dustbin. And the B shop person, he will just take a brush, like that he will remove the fungus and he would sell it. So, and A shop was making $20,000. I mean, B shop was making $20,000 monthly. A shop was making only, $5,000-6,000. So many people told him, "Arey, what profit you are making? You see, both shops are same size. You make $5,000, he is making $20,000. 4 times he is making. You are not smart. Kali Yuga has come. Times have changed. You are like a Satya Yuga man. So honest and so truthful. If you are too much truthful in Kali Yuga, it will not work. You should know how to make the money." Like that all people, friends have said, but he would never waver. He was very strict. So one day what happened? Somebody ate that bread from the other shop which was brushed and sold. He got food poisoning. Then second person got food poisoning. 2-3 people got food poisoning. Immediately people started talking about the shop as a fungus shop, fungus bread shop. And immediately the police came and sealed the shop. And he was put behind the bars. Some people were rushed to the hospital. So the shop closed down. So all the customers of that shop came to their shop. And now his profits shot up. Correct, no? So he made big profit for a short while, but this kind of characterless program will not go on for a long time in this world. Eventually one will be captured. Cheating people one day will be severely captured. You know this Volkswagen, one company, they had made one device by which the pollution will always show that it is low. But then it was always way high. But at one time the government detected and sacked the company. The whole thing was closed down. You will see that. You see, this is an example of when one is having a problem in the character, initially you make a big profit, eventually you will be finished. So therefore Lord Ramachandra did not choose power over goodness. He put more priority for goodness. He knew Vali has power, but Sugriva has goodness. He is Satyasandho. So therefore, choice between, that's why in our life also we should be very careful about this point. Then another lesson we learned from Lord Rama's leadership. So first lesson we learned about Rama emphasizes character over competence. Out of the two, both are important, but out of the two, character is more important. If somebody has character, you can eventually train them and offer them polishing and experience, and they will do great things when you are working with people. For example, if somebody comes and tells you bad about another devotee, that means he will also talk bad about you to someone else. You understand? No? You can understand that. Because they simply are habituated to talking ill about different people. That is actually like a kind of habit which has to be given up. If we have that habit, we have to give it up also. We have to be very careful. That will become a second nature. So, therefore, how do we become people of high character? Titikshava, Karunika, Suritas Sarvadehina, Ajata Shatra Sadhavas Sadhu Bhushana. That's one verse. Another verse from Bhagavatam. Titikshaya Karunaya Maitriya Chakila Jantushu Samatvena Cha Sarvatma Bhagavan Samprasidati. One should tolerate the chastisement of the superiors. Prabhupada writes in purport like that. Karunaya, and one should be merciful to the juniors, compassionate to juniors. Maitriya, be friendly with the equals. Akila Bandhushu, with all living entities. Samatvena Cha Sarvatma. Be equipoised with rich people, poor people, with big or small, rich or poor, or even equipoised in Sukha Dukkha, Shita Ushna, Man Apman and everything, dualities. So like this in Bhagavatam you will see many qualities are mentioned about people of noble character. There are 26 qualities of a Vaishnava which we begin with Krishnaika Sharanam and eventually we cultivate other qualities also. In Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter 12 to 20, beginning with Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukka sukhakshami santushtas satatam yogi yatatma drida nishchayah mayyarpita mano buddhirmame vashyasya samshayah samashatrau cha mitre cha tatamana apamanayoho shitoshna sukha dukkeshu samasanga vivarjitah tulyaninda stutir mauni santushto yena kenachid aniketas tiramatir bhaktiman me priyo naraha Anapeksha Shuchir Dakshaha Udasino Gatavyataha Sarvaram Parityagi Yomad Bhakta Sabe Priyaha. And like that he goes on. Samashatrau Chamitrecha Tadamana Apamanayo Shitoshna Sukeshu Samasanga Vivarjitaha Tulya Ninda Sutir Mauni Santushto. Like that he ends with Yetu Dharma Amritamidam Yadoktam Paryupasate Shaddadhana Matparama Bhaktaste Ativa Me Priya. Krishna says, such a devotee is most dear to me with all these qualities. You go to the 12th chapter, 12 to 20 you read. If you want to know how to become dear to Krishna, we have to cultivate those qualities. So in this way, Bhagavad Gita also, 13th chapter, 8 to 12, there are 20 aspects of knowledge. 16th chapter, 1 to 7, Devi Sampad, they are given. So we have to cultivate those qualities and we become dear to the Lord. By cultivating those qualities and then dealing with living entities appropriately. So, but Sugriva had those good qualities, but Vali was mighty but lacking power. So the second one, affinity among the team members. now it's late now. I will stop here. Do I have one Bhagavatam class tomorrow? What is there is a shloka number, or I can continue this tomorrow? Continue? Because Bhishma's time is over now. Bhishma already is gone back to Godhead now. I spoke 2 lectures in New Vrindavan when I was there. Yeah. I published also. If any of you want to know, there are 2 different things I spoke on Bhishma at that time. You can hear. This is a very beautiful lesson coming up, I can tell you. This is not only a leadership trait, but it is directly connected to our spiritual life. Something very important to our Krishna conscious life also. Second one, affinity among the team members. So, can we do this tomorrow? You have to take permission from Harivilas Maharaj. Can do it? Thank you. I can take 5 minutes questions, I can take. It's already time for you all. Shri Prabhupada ki. Any?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful lecture. Anything we read in the material life, immediately we put a faith into that. But when it comes to the devotional service, our faith, we doesn't know when it is up, when it is down. Most of the time it is like a small thing here and there, our faith drops. Or is it that our incompetency, or we are not following, or our conditioning, what exactly, and how to make sure that our faith doesn't waver?
Actually, for us to keep the faith and keep building the faith, we have to check whether we are doing our homework properly. Say, for example, staying in association of devotees, regularly coming in touch. And you will have experience. Like Kaviraj Goswami says that, daily coming in contact with the spiritual literature, reading and hearing, that is like eating grains. Eating grains gives you strength. But on Ekadashi day, when you don't eat grains, you feel a little physically weak. Correct, no? So faith also reduces if you don't keep in touch with spiritual literature directly, regularly. Brahmaji is telling the demigods in the 3rd canto, 15th chapter, one of the verses he says, Yanna Brajantyagabido Rachananuvada Shinvanti Ye Anya Vishaya Kukatamati Yastushruta Hatabagai Nriviratasaras Tam Stam Shipanti Asharaneshu Tamassu Hantaha. Very, very frightening verse. He's saying, Yanna Brajanti Agabido Rachananuvada. Rachana means the literature. Agabit is Krishna, one who destroys the sins. So the great destroyer of sins, Krishna, about him there are literatures like Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, Ramayana and all that. Those who don't take interest in them, what they do? Shrinvanti, they hear. But what they hear? Anya Vishaya. They hear other things. Kukatha, he says. There is Satkatha, there is Kukatha. So they hear Kukatha. Satkatha is for the swans and Kukatha is for the crows. Prabhupada says in another verse, he says. Matigni, he is saying, a destroyer of intelligence, he says. Yastu Shruta, and those people who hear that Kukatha, useless, He-Man, Batman, Spider-Man, they watch such things, or they read all kinds of material novels, or newspaper, or nowadays, people keep on watching in their mobiles, different sites, they go different YouTube. So many things keep popping up, they keep watching. So that Kukatha, what it does, it destroys your intelligence, he says. Yastru Shruta Hata Bhagair, they become unfortunate, he says. Hata Bhagair, Ribiratta Saras, the essence of human life is extracted out of them. And Tam Shipanti Asharaneshu, without any shelter, they are cast into the hell. Hanta, alas, like that is telling Brahma. So this is a very frightening verse, but the next verse is a very sweet verse. He says that on the other hand, those who hear Krishna Katha regularly, they will develop feelings for Krishna. They will develop emotions for the Lord. When they hear the pastime, they will appreciate. Their hair will stand on and tears will well up in their eyes. They will breathe heavily in ecstasy. And then they will cherish those pastimes in their heart. And they will want to repeat those pastimes to other people. And those people are preparing their way back to Vaikuntha, he's saying. So this is one thing I can tell you, the faith builds by regular Shravanam, hearing. Like in Pune, in those days, I used to have a Bhagavatam study circle with many of the senior devotees. We used to have about 20-25 people. I did it regularly for years together. Now they all have become counselors now, and they have got, every one of them is now taking care of 80, 100 people, like that. Krishnakshwar Prabhu, Mukundanand Prabhu, all those people, Shankar Pandit Prabhu, Vajanand Prabhu, all those people. So they are very stable now. Now, even now they remember those days. Used to make a big circle and sit, like ellipse, big ellipse, sit and discuss. We have discussed many sections of Bhagavatam like that. So now why did I do that? Because I saw one picture where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Tota Gopinath, where he is sitting with Gadadhar Pandit and other associates and hearing. So what is Mahaprabhu doing? He is our hero, role model for us. Either he is sitting and doing this kind of study of the Bhagavatam, or you read the chapter Beda Kirtan pastimes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila. Mahaprabhu is taking all the devotees to Jagannath Puri temple. Beda means that circumambulating area, Pradakshina Marg, no? That is so there Mahaprabhu is doing Kirtan with all the associates. 3 hours when they do Kirtan. Similarly, he is taking them on Ratha Yatra and doing Kirtan. Either he is doing Harinam Sankirtan or he is reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So in this way, taking active part in the devotional activities, and most importantly, studying in the assembly of devotees regularly, and also honestly presenting our doubts to a superior in whom we have trust. Like for example, if somebody is very scientific minded and very skeptical, then you should meet a person who is a ustad, who is a big boss in science, and also a devotee. Like Sadaputta, for example, Michael Kramo, Dhutakarma Prabhu. Chaitanya Prabhu used to come to me in those days. When he was in Pune, he joined in Pune only. For about 10 years he was in Pune. After that he started traveling to different places. So every week I would give him time on Saturday. We both would discuss. Many questions he will ask, and also he will make a plan for his sadhana and everything and all. So whenever he very much appreciated my time for him. But one thing which would come is the scientific questions when he would ask, I would speak very strongly. And then he would say that, Prabhu, this is not acceptable to me and I am looking for more explanation. I would say that, see, you are hearing bona fide explanation from Prabhupada, why do you need more? I would argue like that. So, of course, it went on for a few years. One day, Michael Kramo, Dhutakarma Prabhu came to Pune. And I told Chaitanya Prabhu that here is a personality who is a scientist. So you should go and meet him in the room and ask your questions. So I went to his room, almost 2 to 3 hours they were speaking. When he came out, he was like Lord Chaitanya returning after going to Ishwarapuri and taking initiation. No? He was a Goloka haunted man. No? Lord Chaitanya, he came out and said, Prabhuji, all my doubts are cleared. What amazing personality he is. And he completely became humble and he said, now I have no more doubts now. Because, therefore it is said, you should hear from a horse's mouth, we say, no? That means a person is an authority in a field. You hear from him. Just like, for example, when Krishna saw that Yudhishthira is not getting convinced by him, and even Vedavyasa is not able to convince, so what he did? Bhishma. Why? Because Yudhishthira had a lot of respect for Bhishma. And he is a grandsire, he is a grandfather, he is the father of all other fellows. He is the grandfather of all these children. So if he is saying you guys are right, then he will be peaceful. Therefore Krishna took him to him. So hear from those in whom you have deep respect. You have respect for their spiritual stature. You have respect for their spiritual advancement. You have respect for the priceless jewel-like realizations that the great souls have achieved. You should go and associate with them. Otherwise what happens? We hear from somebody in whom we don't have so much respect. And that doesn't hit us hard, very strongly. Everybody has somebody whom they admire in the heart. Ask yourself, whom do you admire the most? If some great Vaishnava you admire, who has great faith, then you should go to him. And he can give you faith, because faith goes from one heart to another heart. Our parampara is a chain of hearts. Tene Brahma Hrida Ya Adi Kavaye Mukhyati. So Lord Vishnu invested faith in the heart of Brahma, and Brahma invested faith in the heart of Narada. So you have to go to a person in whom from your bottom of your heart you trust that great Vaishnava. Then they can invest faith in your hearts. Correct, no? So this is so associating with the great soul is one thing, reading the books regularly and coming in association. and then engaging in devotional activities, maximize Krishna time, minimize Maya time. Then faith will increase. Otherwise, increasing Maya time, then we become absorbed like a sponge in water and so many worldly activities, and therefore the faith has no scope to develop, correct, no? But your question is a very important question. All of us are in the same boat. We all are developing faith little by little. So, our Ravindra Prabhu is a very honest devotee since the very early days. I met him first in 1995 in Pune. So, amongst all the devotees who helped me in Pune to build up the first youth group, I would rate him as the first devotee. He brought the maximum devotees. All the stalwarts you see in Pune now, he is the one who brought them all. Big devotees. So, but he hides behind and he doesn't take the credit. But I was struggling in the early days with very few people, but he would bring, he made the weekly program into program with 40 youths attending the program every week. So here you can add him in the youth preaching group here. Yeah, he's very smart. I would tell him to speak, but he won't speak. He was more interested in bringing people. Yeah, thank you. It's getting late for all of you. I am here tomorrow also. I am available. We can talk more. Shri Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna devotees. Very grateful to His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu for his wonderful session on the qualities of Lord Rama, how he is a great value-based teacher, leader. Tomorrow we will continue the session on the same subject. And tomorrow morning, 6:15 to 7:30 is the session, and we'll have breakfast as well served in the temple here. So you don't need to worry about that. Yeah. And 3 Haribols to His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu for giving us his time. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
So you send the schedule, So you send Sana the schedule, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Waiting last year, we didn't come second time. See you tomorrow morning.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. I met you last time. What's your good name? You are the one who gave me the beauty. I am so grateful to you. That Gita Mr. Vinta so many activities. Actually, he gave all those flow charts and everything, colorful pictures and all. You are like
Summary now.
I saw your Bhagavatam classes also. I just put this, just close this. Amaran close it and something.
We can see too.
See tomorrow? And close it. And shut down properly.
I was in Bamboo House.
Hey, it didn't shut down properly. You're shutting down, if you close it, you get fire. So, your Bhagavatam also. Oh, really? I will take it. And you have to study it?
I just met him like in November.
And you know your knowledge. And one thing what you're doing is taking out the global purpose and making it big. Like Gita Mata, all the big small things, your PPTs are in a way. I added more pictures to that.
Yes.
But you are very old. 1895 is.
For Bhagavatam, you are doing first canto, now you are this canto, no?
Patita Pavan.
Ah, yeah.